So, what is Business Central? Business Central is Microsoft's latest incarnation of an ERP system that used to be called Microsoft Dynamics NAV. The Business Central version of this software is the next iteration and is cloud-based. So what does this mean for you? So what you have is an accounting system that's in the cloud that is specifically geared towards our market, being the African market. So it is online accounting for businesses scaling from one anywhere up to a couple of thousand users. Let's talk about advantages of cloud. Advantages of cloud for accounting software is that previously an accounting system such as Business Central used to be held on servers. And there is a lot of overhead and expense involved with servers. Some of it's very obvious, such as the servers themselves and the hardware and the software that runs those servers. And then there is other, what we call soft costs, that are involved with maintaining those systems. So if you have a server rack, other than the cost of the servers themselves and the racks themselves, there's the power to run the server racks. There's the UPS backup battery that you are required in order to keep those servers running. There is the air conditioning systems to make sure that the servers stay below 22 degrees Celsius. There is the networking cost. There is the employee and IT overhead of maintaining those servers. Now, when you talk with some people about moving to cloud, which by the way has none of those costs, all you are required to have is any internet-enabled device that can access a browser and an internet connection, and you are able to use the software. It is true cloud software that Business Central is. So those soft costs, people sometimes say, well, I've already invested in servers. I already have servers. I have a server room. I've already invested in a UPS. So, why would I pay a nominal amount more per month to have cloud? Well, the answer to that is very simple. Those soft costs continue on with regards to running servers. Those servers may be running SQL 2012 and you have to update your SQL. You have to update your antivirus. You have to update the batteries in your UPS. You have to continue to pay for power to go into the servers. You have to continue to pay for power to run the air conditioning. So the old way of having servers on premise is becoming more and more expensive with regards to return on investment than if you were to look at moving into true cloud. Because once again, all of those soft costs and hard costs disappear. All you have is cost to access the software, laptop, desktop, and an internet connection. So all those costs disappear. It's a big advantage of cloud. Another unseen advantage of cloud, which is going to become very prevalent in the next 5 years, is antivirus and hacking. I have worked in ERP for nearly 20 years now, and I have seen on more than one occasion large businesses brought to their knees because of ransomware attacks, and they were held for ransom for Bitcoin. And those ransomware attacks were able to be executed because someone somewhere did not upgrade or patch a database or a network or a firewall in the way that they should have when they needed to do it. And it ended up costing those businesses dearly. Nearly put them out of business, in fact. And one business had to pay the ransom to get their data back. Very expensive, and it's going to become extremely prevalent. When you move to a cloud-hosted infrastructure such as Business Central, those issues disappear. Those kinds of problems are like having a car accident. You never think it's going to happen to you. It's something that you hear about all the time. It's something that happens to other people. But one of the best insurances you can have against that is moving into Microsoft's cloud. They take care of the infrastructure. They take care of the antivirus. They take care of things like that. So that's all part and parcel. So obvious and large advantages there to cloud. One of the final advantages there's many advantages to cloud, but one of the final ones that I will mention here is scalability. When you have your own servers, there is a point where they reach capacity, be that network capacity, be that storage capacity, or processor speed. As you expand your business and you have more lines, as invoice lines, credit lines, you need to do end-of-day reconciliations, you have multiple locations, your server infrastructure will have to keep in step with the growth of your business. Now, sometimes that's easy, but sometimes it can be you hit capacity in a rack, and your on-premise service provider who provides you with your servers will insist you buy an entire new rack when you're only needing 0.5 terabyte more storage space. If your rack is full, Cisco may say, well, you have to put in another whole rack. And then you've got massive overhead, which you don't need, but you're vertically integrated with someone like Cisco. So there's nothing you can do about it. So there's those unforeseen costs as well. So another big advantage of cloud. Right, how is it different? When you talk about cloud accounting software, you have different silos in terms of how big they are, how much they can handle, and what they're designed for. Different accounting systems were made from the outset for different purposes. So an interesting conundrum or description that we have in Africa is that quite often when you hear Microsoft Dynamics Business Central, they describe it for small and medium businesses. That is absolutely true. You can run a small business on Business Central, and from a licensing point of view, your minimum is 1 license. You can run and get access to all of the features in Business Central with 1 license that starts at $70 US a month, which is phenomenal value. Microsoft's other cloud Dynamics product, which is called Dynamics 365 for Finance, which is a different product, the minimum at $95 a month is 20 users. So if you want to use the other Dynamics product, you have to buy a minimum of 20 at $95 US a month. So obviously a huge difference there in cost between your initial outlay. Okay. Now the reason for that is because Microsoft see Business Central in their purview as a small to medium business product, and they say that because of the fact that in their mind, by their own description, a small to medium enterprise in the world of Microsoft means less than 500 employees. Now, obviously in Africa, if you've got a business that's got 500 employees, we do not consider that to be small. We consider that to be enterprise. We consider that to be a large business. But understanding Microsoft is looking at the scope and the entirety of the world, including all the US, all of North America as well as Europe. So they have a different view on what a small to medium business is. In our region, you can scale Business Central up to thousands of users. You can access it at an inexpensive price point, but you can expand your business with it. So I'll go into that in more detail in a minute. But I think the important delineation here between Business Central and other cloud-based accounting systems, and I'll give you an example. You may have heard of Sage 1, you may have heard of QuickBooks, and you may have heard of Xero, which is New Zealand software. Great software. Nothing wrong with any of these products. They are great online accounting systems, or as I call them, online cash books. Okay? Invoices, purchase orders, credit notes, running histories, general ledger, maybe a little bit of inventory out of one location, and maybe they can process credit card payments on your behalf with a plugin. Fantastic. For a small business that can run on something like that, they are excellent. They are great products. The issue comes as soon as you start to scale or expand your business. If you've got inventory in one location, it is an entirely different situation from having inventory across multiple locations and multiple SKUs of inventory. That is an example of a breakpoint where you can no longer use Sage 1 or you can no longer use QuickBooks, because they don't inherently have the ability to be able to manage multiple SKUs with different variations across multiple locations. That is an example, a perfect example of when you have to take an app and plug it into QuickBooks or plug it into Xero or plug it into Sage 1 to make it work. So that can work as well. So you can have, say, QuickBooks, and you can have Unleashed or something similar, which is inventory management. And they can work okay together because they're designed to work together. The issue comes when you decide that you then want to, say, put on an e-commerce web store, let's say Shopify, to keep it easy. Shopify works with QuickBooks really well. The inventory software will work with QuickBooks really well as well. Everything's fine. The problem is that Shopify, when working with QuickBooks, which then goes into a third-party inventory system, the wheels start to seriously wobble. That's when things go very wrong, because these two apps were never designed to work together, even though they're integrating through QuickBooks. And that's what you'll find with online accounting systems. There's also a cost implication, because you can start QuickBooks with $50 a month, and Business Central is $70 per user. So on the face of it, QuickBooks looks like a cheaper, less expensive option. And for a small business, it is. And they're great for small businesses. What happens though is when you start plugging in Shopify and you start plugging in CRM and you start plugging in manufacturing, you start plugging in a warehouse management system and you start plugging in an inventory management system that are user-based per module, that's when the costs can escalate quite quickly. Now, as you're probably realizing as I'm speaking to you, Business Central has everything that I mentioned, with the exclusion of e-commerce, built into it. Business Central is designed from the ground up to have inventory, service management. It has a small CRM system in it. It has a small project management system in it, as well as having accounts, general ledger, etc., etc. So, yes, manufacturing, which I've already mentioned. So, Business Central has all these features in it. Now, where this becomes interesting is that people like the simplicity of Xero. Xero's tagline is beautiful accounting software. And I agree, it is beautiful. The reason it's beautiful is because it's simple, and the reason it's simple is because it has very limited features. So they are able to make it very simple to use and very intuitive. Business Central is as simple as it can be, but no more. There is only a certain level of simplicity. Sorry, I'll say that again. There is only a certain level of simplicity that you can go down to if you have accounts, CRM, manufacturing or MRP, service management, warehouse management. If you have all these features in a product, then there is more configuration and there is more work to be done to get it set up. So the thing is though, if you need those products and you need those features, they are going to be critically important moving forward. Business Central gives you a basis from which to start out as you intend to go on. You may be starting in one apparel shop in Nairobi, but you may have aspirations to spread across the country and across all of Africa. Business Central will be with you from one user through to 1,000 users, and it will grow with your business. And that is why the major difference between Business Central and its competitors within what we call the SMB or SMC space, small to medium company or small to medium business. So that's a huge difference between Business Central and other products. Okay, why is this important to my business? Business Central is important to businesses in Pan-Africa and Kenya in particular, because if you were to buy this product 10 years ago and implement it for a medium-sized business, it would cost tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars to implement. As I mentioned previously, this is used by Goodyear. This is used by Puma Energy. This is a product that has a huge feature set and a huge amount of functionality. The fact that it has now been enabled by Microsoft in the cloud brings the cost per user way down into an area where truly small businesses can take advantage of this. And this is why it's important for Africa. Because you can pay $70 a month and you can have full-blown ERP. You can have inventory, you can have multiple locations, you can have all of your GL, all of your accounts receivable, all in one fantastic package. Completely integrated, might I add, into Office 365. You can be in Outlook and you can place an order inside Business Central from your Outlook interface. So straight away you're saving money and time not having to train staff because they don't even need to log into Business Central. They can literally do it through their email. The accounts department can export information directly from Business Central into Excel, change the information in Excel and re-import it, and Logic will actually check the work. Let's say it was account codes. It will check and make sure that everything's been done correctly because it is completely integrated into Office 365. No other product is offering that. Sage don't do email. Microsoft is the entire stack, and they can design everything from the ground up to make sure that it all works together intrinsically, and that's very important. Okay. The other reason it's important for businesses is because big businesses previously were the only ones that could afford this kind of technology. And now going cloud and going per user enables the cost to be within the grasp of smaller companies that do need this technology. $70 a month at the base level, and for $100 a month you will get full manufacturing and you will get full service management included as well. There is no other offering in the market, literally, that has better priced than Business Central. And because of Microsoft's new base plus attach licensing, you can now get Business Central and you can attach Microsoft CRM or Microsoft CE Customer Engagement, as it's called, and Sales Professional, not for $50 a month or $75 a month. It's now only $25 a month. So at the base level, for $95 a month, you're getting Dynamics CE and you're getting Microsoft Business Central put together. And all of the features therein, all completely integrated into Office 365. That was tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that only 10 years ago. And now you can have it per month, per user prices like that. I cannot understate the importance of this for businesses in this region, of being able to access this kind of technology and bring it into their businesses at this price point. It is a watershed moment. Even Dynamics 365 for finance is still a minimum of 20 users. It may only be $95 a month, but it's 20 user minimum. This is one user, and it's available right now. So please talk to your Impax team, and let's set up a demo so we can show you everything that Business Central can do and how it's going to change your business phenomenally for the future.